At what point in a business transaction do we buy based on price? So I was doing a little research sometime back, a long while ago, on guerrilla marketing. Now, guerrilla marketing is a cost-effective, very unconventional way of doing marketing that has some form of element of surprise. It's very unconventional. Then I came across a story that happened, I think, somewhere in Arizona some years back. So there's this barbering salon that opened up in a particular location. Their services were very good. They were very good at what they do. Customer experience was fantastic. Everything about the business was very good. But they were doing their haircut, or their prices was slightly above the prices in that particular location. Business was very good. I think about a year down the line, another barbering salon opens just across in a mall. They are like franchise barbering salon, just like you have McDonald's. So they were like the McDonald's of barbering salon. So they opened in a mall just across the street or across the road from this barbering salon who have been there for a while. And then they did the signage. Very simple signage in white and blue color. And then they wrote on that signage, "We give $6 haircuts." We give $6 haircuts. So the other guys who had, of course, their prices were was a little bit higher, started losing their customers. This is where customer loyalty can be a little bit tricky, because sometimes customers will almost function as prostitutes, if you know what I mean, quote and unquote. So when the other guys saw that they were losing customers, they now did their own signage in the same color, in the same size, in the same font as the other franchise barbering salon, and they put in front of their own salon, "We fix $6 haircut." It was chaotic. Customers were going back and forth. So when the customer comes and then they see that "We give $6 haircut, we fix $6 haircut," so they began to feel like maybe those guys who were giving $6 haircuts were doing something really bad, or they were not giving good haircuts. So those other guys were fixing it. So it was almost chaotic. Now, what am I trying to say? Price will remain at the bottom of the food chain as long as you can communicate value. Price will remain at the bottom of the food chain as long as you can communicate value, as long as you can communicate the solutions that you give as a business owner. Price will continue to remain at the bottom of the food chain. Does that mean that there are products that don't sell based on price? Absolutely. Things like pure water. Some products definitely sell based on price, but that's not what we're trying to say. Consumer behavior, understanding consumer behavior is very important. Understanding the value that you bring to the table is very important. Understanding how to communicate that value is very important. But most of all, delivering exactly what you say you can deliver is the most important aspect of it. Now, another aspect of value is not just saying what you can do, but your customers deciding what value is for them. So I might communicate that this is the value that I bring to the table, or these are the solutions that I bring, or this is how I render my fantastic services. But to the customer, those are not the details of what value is to them. Like I said, this is why consumer behavior and understanding the needs of your customers are very important. So I'll give another example. Two food shops or two food vendors can open side by side, and people will be patronizing the one that is slightly expensive. They're not playing the price war. Why are customers going to that other person who is selling slightly above the other person? It is because that other person who is selling higher and also getting customers has tried to understand the nitty-gritty and the little somewhat looking insignificant details that some people don't pay attention to in business. So for example, we are doing a food business. There's certain things that a customer might not pay attention to, but another customer will pay attention to because it is something that is of value to them. So a customer who is some people who are like neat freaks, the little details that the person who is selling cheaper does not pay attention to, but the other person is paying attention to it. Somebody who is a neat freak will see those things. So in as much as we communicate value, you must pay attention to what your customer, what your market, what your target audience calls value. Those little intricacies and details must be paid attention to. Fingernails of the workers, haircuts, dressing, body odor, smell, flies, lightning, ambience, those things that you might think, yeah, I put in my business, but the other person paid more attention to it. That's why I will often say that the personality of a business owner always reflects in their business. You cannot separate the personality of a business owner from the business. It will always reflect. So what am I saying? Price will continue to remain at the bottom of the food chain as long as you are able to communicate value, communicate solution, and then deliver on those values, deliver on those solutions in the way that satisfies your customer. And then also pay attention to what your customer is saying, consumer behavior, and then pay attention to what customers or consumers define or say is value to them, and then give them those services in the way that is safe. I hope this helps. Have a lovely day.